Hello, today I have a message called Provided For, so here is the short version. The slate is being wiped clean. You start from here. All you meet or see or think of, start from here. To start from here is to put everything and everyone within God's loving arms. You are provided for. So back to the slate is being wiped clean. That's how I'm advised to see everyone and everything in that clean slate position, in that open, new, and now position in every moment, to be able to hold everyone and everything there. And the ego, when I'm aware of it, is bringing in all these contradictions to that. It is defining, analyzing, interpreting, but the ego can be taught and trained, and whatever remains of it can be used in the service of a spirit, whatever remains of our perception of time and space and things that seem to be separate and people can be used in the service of all of us together harmonically. And that seems to be the most important thing. So the slate is being wiped clean. If I can keep the focus on the clean, on the open, on the new, within everyone and everything, rather than trying to cover up or obscure that with anything the ego would tell me that would sway me in any direction, except just being open and receptive to what wants to flow through everyone and everything right now. If I can hold it in that place, then I will begin to recognize that place as ease, as peace, as flow. There's no resistance in this place. It seems at first that we have to use effort to not get distracted, pulled down this pathway of judgment, analysis, interpretation. And so that seems to require effort or strain. But once we get used to that and we accept what is here in this moment for everybody, then that fades away. And the power, the shared power of what is here for everyone and everything in shared innocence, in shared peace, in shared sanity, that steps forward and becomes more obvious. But before it does, kind of our effort, our determination, our focus, and not being distracted away seems more prominent than that. So that, I think that's just kind of like patience. your efforts to remain aware are worth it. And as you learn something, you go from pouring effort into it to it just coming very naturally. So I think this part's being pointed out and highlighted. You start from here. So there's this here place where let's not put any particular quality except the ones we share. So peace is in this here place. Innocence is in this here place. Power, abundance, all of that is here. And we're always in this fresh beginning place, this fresh starting place. And here is shared. Here is shared with everyone and everything. We're very used to separate trajectories that don't appear to be harmonic, that we assign to everyone and everything. For example, I was driving my van home today and my thoughts started to go to, it sounded like a piece is loose, and I do have an appointment and I'm taking it in tomorrow, and it sounds like something's a little loose in there, and they're going to take a look at it. So my thoughts start going there. But when I start thinking about separate trajectories for separate ones, my thoughts have wandered away from this here place, this very powerful place where everyone and everything is, every part of my van, the van itself, the experience of the van, everything. Everything's in this here place. And it doesn't mean that we don't appear to take care of our day to day. We still do that. The thought still comes. We still act on the thought. We make dinner. We do the laundry. But the importance of focusing on what's actually here, beyond the illusion we made, becomes more and more and more and more important, and more powerful as a way of addressing anything that seems to arise within the day-to-day. That becomes more obvious that it's our focus on what's here and now. You start from here. Our focus on what's here and now is more important than anything when it comes to addressing any detail of our day-to-day experience. So taking the time and stopping to focus on the power of what we all share in this moment will eventually see it's really obvious that it's worth our time to do that, because that aligns everything for everyone together, and it helps everything become easier for everyone together. Okay, so all you meet or see or think of start from here. So if you meet something, if you think the most important thing about them is not any commentary the ego is making about them, attempting to describe them, analyze them, kind of put them in a box, right? It's the fact that they start from here, that the words seem to fail me a little bit, but I'm trying to point to it, that they're here in this very powerful and open here place with you and everyone and everything right now. Nothing's more important than that. And that contains everything everyone needs for what they perceive to be their day, or their week, or their month, or their life. Here and now contains everything everyone needs. All you meet or see or think of start from here. When someone comes to mind, this is the opportunity to just share here, to just share this awareness that in spirit we are exactly the same thing, and it's very powerful, and it's eternal, it's eternally innocent, it is grace itself, it is truth, and here we are in this power together. Now anything that we should perceive in our illusion can follow from that remembrance, that growing remembrance and awareness. So if we focus on what's here for all of us, anytime anyone or anything comes to mind, it seems to take work to understand the importance of this focus and to put our focus there, but the work pays off, because then it becomes very natural to us to be in this place, to dwell in this place, to share the power and helpfulness of this place with everyone we meet or see or think of, and everything. We share that with everyone and everything. Okay. To start from here is to put everything and everyone within God's loving arms. So that's where everyone is. You don't have to imagine arms if you don't need to, because that could seem to take you away from the vastness and the power that doesn't really involve body parts. But it could also help to bring in the idea of how loved and cherished what the true essential nature of everyone and everything is. It's all the same thing, and it is loved and cherished forever. It is loving forever. So to start from here is to put everything and everyone within God's loving arms. If we wander away from here, what I keep referring to is here today, peace, unity, the heart or the seat of guidance, that flows to and through everyone and everything today. If I wander away, I know, because it hurts. It feels terrible. So as we practice, it's good to know when we've wandered away from the power of here and now, and what is shared, and what can guide us, and what can support everyone and everything in very peaceful and loving ways. There doesn't need to be any discord. There doesn't need to be any violence. There doesn't need to be any fighting. Even though the trajectory might tell you, well, of course there has to be. When we truly realize the power of what we are together, what we're able to share, and how we're able to allow our perception to be corrected, makes very obvious to us that no perception of that is necessary. It's not necessary to try to be satisfied by seeing fighting elsewhere. When we let the fighting die down within, we don't have to try to project it outward and see it somewhere else, over there, far distant, or even next door to us, kind of close, but still not in the place we would call right here in my personal experience. So all of that calms down, and we are learning to calm down and share calm in huge and vital ways every single day, every single moment. And that will not be unnoticed by us, because that bears fruit. So as we practice, and as we see the fruits of our practice, then it becomes obvious to us to continue the practice and to deepen the focus, because this is the truly helpful thing. This is the truly helpful thing that helps everyone and everything come into their own, come into the remembrance and the awareness of what we've always been together, what we always will be together. Basically what we cannot escape, but it's a very good thing. We can escape from our misapprehension of what we thought we were and what we thought others were and what we thought this place is. We can escape from that, and we're doing that, but we can't escape from who we truly are together. And that's always very, very good news for everyone. You are provided for. So you think of, in every single way, the being you are could seem to need anything. That need is being met by Spirit. Spirit can correct your perception. We still perceive forms, and it seems that forms meet our needs. Ego sends us thoughts. We are aware of thoughts about having needs. And we can work on setting those down when it's obvious they don't feel good. But on the other end of it, we're provided with a substitute illusion. So we made an illusion of suffering and strife, and then our perception gets corrected. We're provided, still with perception, with a substitute illusion. So we need to turn toward the substitute illusion and accept that. And the substitute illusion, without trying to make specific demands about what our ego tells us it wants, the substitute illusion makes it very clear that everyone's provided with everything they need. So we can put our focus there, and then the specifics become clear. If we're supposed to do something, it becomes clear. If we're supposed to say something, it becomes clear. But the idea of running your life as a personality, as a body, as a character, that fades, it melts, it blows away. You are provided for. So that's done for you. And it may seem to take the form of a job. It may not. If we look at all the ways we would judge ourselves and others who seem to be engaged or not engaged in various activities that seem to provide support or fail to provide support, And we think of all of that analysis and interpretation and judgment disappearing. And then we think of just allowing our perception to be corrected. It's the simplest thing in the world if we just boil it down to, if I don't feel good, I haven't been seeing things as they are. I've been looking at an illusion and listening to ego's judgment and analysis and interpretation of the illusion I made. But now I can be provided with a substitute illusion, the world Holy Spirit made. And this world can point very directly to the very good news about the truth of all of us. Now I'm willing to see that. You might run into your unworthiness, your sense of unworthiness, that you are a separate self that is unworthy. If you think about letting that perception be corrected, so you can see how everyone is provided for, so you can see how equally worthy everyone is. If there's anything resisting that, any doubt, anything blocking it, it can be your own sense of unworthiness, whatever remains of that. And therefore our sense that everyone and everything else is unworthy or not enough in some way. So now that that's been brought into the sunlight, we can set that aside and remember we are provided for in every way. And our job is to allow it. And when the doubts creep in, the uncertainty, that's the temptation. That's the temptation of ego. And we learn to keep a clear head and to meet temptation in a sane way by figuring out what it's offering us, setting it aside, and returning our focus to the truth that everyone is provided for, no matter how the story looks. The story looks this way or that way right now. If I don't feel good, it's a misperception, and the perception can be corrected. If there's something for me to say or do, it will become obvious, and it will come through each one of us. What we're supposed to say and do will come through us so naturally that it's not like we had to plan it or try to do it right. It'll just come through because we all allowed it. So if you can think of all of us allowing for each other, whatever we're supposed to say and do, that's in alignment with this illusion that Spirit made to demonstrate to us how worthy we all are, how loved we all are, how loving we all are. If we line up with that and we allow that, then we get to find out what that looks like. So, group project, we're all working on it together. I'll be doing my work over here, and thank you for doing yours over there, but really here, because we're all starting from here and we're all provided for. Okay, happy healing.